The judiciary, please see what you've done. You have brought in an incompetent government that is incapable of fulfilling their promises. Nigerians, you and I and everyone, Obi, Atiku and everybody, see what we have done to ourselves, allowing Tinubu, Shettima to ruin our country. The armed forces, see what you've done, that they will come look you in the face and call you bloody fools.
Hello, you are welcome to this class. Una here say they don't invite Datti. They say DSS don't invite Datti. Make her appear. Why they invite her? They say they talk anyhow. You know why they invite her? For talking anyhow. Anyhow talk. For this class, I go explain everything. Why they invite Datti. We go read am, we go play the video. Okay? I enter Twitter. As he said Datti the trend. I say, why Datti the trend this money? Datti the trend. What's it up? Now I call the check. Now I see this Nigeria stories. Break it. DSS summons Datti Baba-Ahmed over inciting comment. Inciting comment. Anyhow comment. I call Eta Punch. DSS advised Datti Baba-Ahmed over inciting comment. Okay? Now, we will read what the Punch wrote. Then we'll come play the video of Datti where they call him so. But we see the 2023 Labour Party vice presidential candidate Datti Baba-Ahmed has been invited by the Department of State Services over comments considered inciting against the Nigeria state. Put this one as number one on your head, oh. Mark it. Over the Nigeria state. We are going to see the comment they said over the Nigeria state. Over comment consider inciting. You are inciting against. It's against the Nigeria state. Sources within the service said the invitation followed concerns about Baba-Ahmed's recent public remarks. One of the officers said a few days ago, Baba-Ahmed was on national television blaming the judiciary and the military for allowing the swearing in of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. Just so, this incitement allegedly against Mr. President and the Vice, they are actually considered against the Nigeria state. Against the Nigeria state. You get it right now? Against the Nigeria state. He even went to the length of inciting the military. Say it was President Tinubu swearing in that made it possible for them to look you in the face and call you bloody fools.
Will you stop that?
I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, put
I will
yourself.
not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was in school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you
up.
keep quiet?
You can't
You're
shut
a
me
big
up, sir.
fool.
I'm not a
You're a
fool.
big fool.
I'm not a
You
fool,
think you can
sir.
shoot anybody like that?
Sir, I'm not
You're
a fool.
Who are you
I am
talking
not
about?
a fool, sir.
The thought say that was on national television. He was inciting the military. He was provoking them. Provoking the military. Inciting them against the Nigeria state. For saying, una allow me to swear in. Now because of that, you wanna do allegedly. Now it make it possible say, they call the look una for face. They call una bloody fools. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to push? To incite the military? Against who? You get the point now. Okay? Next, his comment carry other tones capable of heightening national tension, particularly given the sensitivity of the Nigeria's current political climate. How manage? You will know the way where the country be currently. Everything just dey like this. Cause they talk like that. They put fire for fuel. We say they try to clean up. What do they think? Come and explain yourself. It is also concerning, considering how similar narratives like that of Datti have contributed to the instability in the countries like recently where they do coup, Guinea, Bissau, and other. Una see also this type of statement wey they make so, according to them allegedly, na it cause instability for here so. And if you look at the instability here, na coup. Allegedly, but former president Bola talk say that one no be cool. E be like say na the president na invite military make dem come take over. Say the election was fair and fair.
And specifically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau, I wouldn't call it a coup. It was not a coup. Maybe some people describe it as RNG. I would just say, if it is like, for want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the president, President Bola, that announced the coup. Before later, the military man came up to address the world that they were in charge of everywhere. Then Mbalo has already announced the coup, which is strange. Not only announcing the coup, but Mbalo, while the coup took place, was using his phone and addressing media organizations across the world that he has been arrested. I'm a Nigerian close to 70, and I know how they keep heads of state when the coup takes place. Recently, I was a mediator in Mali, an ECOWAS mediator in Mali, and within that period, we had a military coup. Military don't take over government, and the sitting president that they overthrown would be allowed to be addressing press conferences and announcing that he has been arrested. Why does this happen? Who is fooling who? Basically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau is quite disturbing to me, who believes in democracy. In fact, I feel more pained than the day I called Buhari to congratulate him when I lost the election as a sitting president. Because I've been quite particular about Guinea-Bissau. As a sitting president, then Guinea-Bissau was in crisis. Started by 2012. By 2011, we have to go physically. We worked with them and made sure that by 2014, we went 2013, elections were conducted. In fact, it was so bad the day that I learned that the military man went to the office of the Prime Minister and slapped the Prime Minister in the office. It was that bad. And what is happening is like we are going back to those dark days of Guinea-Bissau, where the military can do whatever they think they can do. It's totally not acceptable. The elections were done peacefully. We were in the field. I was a part of the West African Elders Forum. Normally, we are not co-observers, so we didn't deploy observation teams across, but we observed within the South, the capital, and the neighboring settlements. But during the meeting of all heads of observation missions, and they gave accounts of, all the observers gave their account. Nobody gave something different. The elections were peaceful. Counting of results at the polling units peacefully done. The conduct of the electoral officials, the security, the party agents, the voters. It was a good election. And one expected the results to be announced. Then while they were collating the results, then they are finished collating results. You know, results for presidential election are collated at different levels. The 9 regions, results were ready. So they were collating them at the capital. And when they were almost through, and we're all waiting for the result to be announced, then Mbalo announced that that's a coup, that they have taken over, they have arrested him. But from all indications, nobody arrested him. My conviction is that, and my charge to ECOWAS and AU is that they must announce the results. They have the results because AU and ECOWAS officials were at all the regions when the results were collated. They cannot change those results. They should tally all those results and announce. They cannot force the military out, but they must announce, let the world know who won that election. Let the world know who won that election. The leadership of AU, they must be courageous. They must announce who won that election. I'm not saying they should mobilize soldiers to go and fight. No need to save blood, but we must know. Because the results are there. They have the results. The AU, ECOWAS, they have the results. So we cannot be playing pranks. Nobody should call others fools. There's no way they remove a military coup. Military coup at the time they want to announce the result. How? And the president was the person who announced the coup. It doesn't happen anywhere. President Mbalo, just yesterday, was the chair of the authority of heads of state and government of ECOWAS. One will expect him, as the president of Guinea-Bissau, to do his best. Luckily, he's an ex-military man. So he has a military constituency. He was a very senior military man before retiring. So he has his own friends, boys, and so on. He should be the person that can prevent any coup in Guinea-Bissau. I don't expect a coup that will remove him from office. In any case, the election, immediately they announced, for them, immediately the results are announced. They inaugurated the new president the following day, so his tenure was almost over. But I don't expect him to be as the president of Guinea-Bissau, a retired senior military man, and they organize coup against him. I don't expect. I don't.
Indirectly, it be like say the president of that country since they won't lose the election. Say I go lose as a former military person. Come off for road. May boys can't take over instead of giving it to the opposition. Okay? But this statement is saying the current instability in this country, which I don't know. They know better. Now, because of this type of statement, narratives, trying to provoke the military against, now. It has nothing to do with politics, but the complete existence of our nation could be threatened if such rhetoric is allowed to fester. If you allow this type of statement to come out anyhow, if it causes instability for this country, I don't want to go further to the instability side, okay? Another insider said the DSS invitation was preventive measure, and aimed at clarifying intent. Come and tell us your intention of making that statement. Was it patriotic statement or you are trying to cause trouble? We need to know for talking anyhow. Such an invitation aligns with establishment protocols, especially as his description of effort to improve the security of the nation as a joke could agitate public sentiment and weaken trust in state institutions. Get the point now. That is, this way they talk. could agitate public sentiment and weaken trust in state institutions. These sessions are not punitive. Let me say they won't punish them. They are preventive. Focus on clarifying intent, contextualizing the remarks, and preventing the emergence of narratives that could unintentionally fuel unrest. No go talk because they come against the government too. The source declared. On Thursday, Baba-Ahmed appeared on Arise News. Watch the video.
But first, as we mentioned, you are an educationist yourself, the founder of institutions of higher learning. Are you outraged by the kidnapping of school children in this country?
I am, to say the least. I wish it was possible to have avoided all this in the first place. I wish, but wishful thinking is not the life that we live. As a matter of fact, just between you and me, it was after...
And the 20 million other people who are watching.
It was after we agreed this meeting that the state of emergency was announced. And I can't run away from it. Otherwise, I want to sit with you for 1 hour without even mentioning this government, what they do. But there's no way to avoid it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in that regard...
So everyone should bear with me. It's not me. It is the situation.
Indeed.
Please, yes.
And in that regard, what is your reaction to the announcement by President Tinubu of a national security emergency? Because his statement talked about recruitment of more police, crash training, notorious forests like Sambisa being cleared, state police, the ending of open grazing. I mean, did it strike all the right notes for you, or have you heard it all before?
Zero. He has missed the point completely.
What's the point?
Before that, let me quickly say, because you mentioned it, that in the policy, there is a call to stop building schools in the rural areas. Now that is deadly. That is wrong. I wish Uncle Tinubu can hear this very quickly, and among the entire list, withdraw that one and please correct himself.
It's come under a lot of criticism.
That he should encourage people to build. If I have money, I'll build in the rural areas. Believe me. It is wrong. Let him quickly, his advisors, whoever, remove only that point of stopping people, because in this sense, attack is the best form of defense. We in the educational world, we're fighting a war on behalf of the country that people don't realize. And it's as good as what the armed forces are doing. So for the commander-in-chief to say stop building in rural areas.
I think he said remote areas.
Well, remote areas, whatever it is, remote, populated, unpopulated, whatever it is, continue to build. I'm not contradicting the commander-in-chief, but he has said something that is very wrong.
In other words, we can't let terrorists dictate to us how to run the country.
Yes, and now let me come to those matters. We as a nation have transited from an era, the military era, where we had too much security and too little intelligence, to an era, the so-called democratic one, where we have too little intelligence, too much intelligence and too little security. What really is buttressing my point now? The commander-in-chief is saying crash program. Again, this is a wrong number to dial. Completely missing the point. You want the best of experts to handle this matter. And he is thinking of numbers. It is not about numbers. It is about reducing corruption in the war against insecurity itself. The entire amount budgeted for security in this current budget, how much of that is going actually in the war and how much is going into 2027 elections, how much is going into private pockets, how much is going into... That is the problem. Once you remove that, Nigeria will become secure. And it is not about numbers, because remove the Nigerian armed forces. The Nigeria police alone can wipe out insecurity and banditry in 2 months. Nigeria police. Remove that corruption. Remove political interest. Give them all the support they want. They will do it. So I'm sorry, Mr. President again has missed it. It's not about the numbers.
But isn't what you're saying going to come as part of this declaration of a state of emergency? Because, I mean, not only are they going to roll out their plan, but they're going to take in
did Uncle
a lot of what people are saying.
Did he say anything about the actual procurements of arms? The rate at which they are given? Did he speak about money is getting missing, money is meant for the frontline allowances of our brave soldiers? Did he say anything about that for now and once past? They have missed the point. It is not about forest guards. We are not lacking numbers. Nigerian armed forces rank among the best in the world. I can tell you for sure Nigeria has some of the best records. Nigeria single-handedly stabilized Africa. From the late 70s, remember our contribution to end apartheid. We ended the war between Libya and Chad, stabilized Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast. We were, shouldering the responsibilities of Niger, DRC, Somalia. The list goes on, Angola, and those. And then to come back and tell us that they cannot sort the problems of Nigeria out, that is not true. I'm sorry, Mr. President, Uncle, advisors and all others, they have missed the point. It's not about forest guards. It is laughable to say that you're going to bring up forest guards to challenge the gentlemen in the forest. They are gentlemen in the forest. They are not jihadists. The real meaning of jihadists is totally different from what they do. These are not jihadists. They are gentlemen in the forest doing something else. They attack schools, they abduct, they do those kind of things. The real terrorists in Nigeria are those who are saying that the government has fought terrorism. The real bandits are those who say that this administration has brought security. Those are gentlemen in the forest. I'm not appreciating them. I don't like what they're doing. But
well, I would hope not.
I want us to go back to what brought me here. I want to talk about education.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to that. But
this government has missed the point.
But you've put us on this trajectory, and you do that all the time.
You put us.
No, you do that all the time, where you start saying things that simply, garner a lot of interest, and we want to hear more. And I am assuming that based on what you've said so far, you do not believe that this declaration of a state of emergency, even though it now has an international dimension, because the Americans are watching very closely, you don't think it has the capacity to stop these abductions?
Because I'm in a rush.
Have a chance of succeeding?
Because I'm in a hurry to drop this topic. This declaration of a state of emergency is a joke. Leave it at that. Right. Remember, memory lane. With you and with another TV station, I nearly stopped the swearing in of this government. I don't want that to happen again. Anything that goes wrong, I don't want to have contributed to anything, because this government is skating on thin ice. And the ice is so thin you cannot believe it. We're in a precarious situation in this country. Remember, I warned us. I warned us not to swear in Shettima Tinubu Shettima ticket. It nearly stopped it, if not because some of us were very lazy and scared. We could have stopped it. Now, put Shettima and Tinubu aside. I don't want to talk about them. I want to ask 3 groups of people to please see what they have done. The judiciary, please see what you've done. You have brought in an incompetent government that is incapable of fulfilling their promises. Nigerians, you and I and everyone, Obi, Atiku and everybody, see what we have done to ourselves, allowing Tinubu Shettima to ruin our country. The armed forces, see what you've done, that they will come look you in the face and call you bloody fools. I'm not talking about Tinubu Shettima anymore. They are inconsequential because they don't even know what they're talking about. If you say they should stop building schools, for God's sake, I've written you off.
But surely you can't hold them responsible.
They are.
No, hold on a minute. Let me just make this point. You can't hold them responsible for the historical problem of insecurity in this country. I mean, they've been there for just over 2 years.
Can I catch you, Charles?
And this stuff has been going on since 2009.
Can I catch you, Charles? Thank you. You said 2009. From 2015 to now, at least you can catch Uncle Tinubu. Because the world had it with late Baba Buhari. Everybody knew what he was. And he had cried to them that it was all over for him. Uncle Tinubu went and convinced him to come back. He showed him the money that Buhari's people wanted to see. It was all about money. He convinced him to come back. Everybody knew late Baba Buhari of blessed memory. I'm sorry. He doesn't know what he reads or what he used to read.
Yeah, but, well, everybody didn't know that because the country voted for him. I mean, so surely you might have known that, but a lot of people didn't know that.
But we were telling the people repeatedly, and they wouldn't listen. That is why we're paying a very high price, and that's why I told you, we Nigerians should not look and say to ourselves, see, look what we've done to ourselves. Tinubu is president, Shettima is vice. What have we done to ourselves?
So what do you think needs to be done? Because let's face it, I mean, a lot of people may be able to relate to what you're saying about the capacity of the government and so on. I mean, you mentioned corruption.
Yes.
That's the central thing that you think ought to be dealt with, and it'll have a domino effect.
Yes. Well, I've mentioned it. Charles, I started telling you, I mistakenly or otherwise nearly stopped the swearing in of this government. Up till today, some elements are blaming me. Ever since a few comments I made, ADC has not recovered. So I don't want to say, you see, I love Nigeria. I don't like the government of Tinubu, but I love Nigeria. Nigeria is my country. This Tinubu government is so weak, is at its lowest ebb. So from this sentence, I'm just telling you, let's move to education.
Right. So let me just say,
I don't. They are in a very, very bad situation. Right. Look, less than 48 hours ago, military took over in a sister African country.
Guinea-Bissau.
Thank you. And President Trump is a very, very serious man. Now, they have, and I know what I say. I don't want to say something that is big, something that is capital, that will harm the junta, which will come and harm the country because I love Nigeria. Everything that happens to Nigeria happens to me, including a commander-in-chief saying that stop building schools. This is what Boko Haram used to say.
I think you have to put that in context.
No, there's no context. Stop building schools in remote areas. You are doing Boko Haram's bidding.
Yeah, but what about the people who have closed the schools that have already been built? I mean, in other words, you have to take extreme measures to deal with extreme situations.
The failing government allowed those schools to be closed. Because the moment you close a school, you are opening prisons. You are opening the gates of hell. The moment you establish a school, you are closing a prison. So I totally disagree with Uncle. Please, they should retract that statement. That Bayo Onanuga. Before he would let him come back and say, please, we're sorry. Go and continue opening schools.
You don't see us so. Now don't see. When you talk, now they say, come. Why are you talking here? Come and explain yourself. Thank God say you be politician, now popular person. It's now no person, eh? You go stay for underground self. For 1 month before they even open this case. What do you think? Drop off a comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.